Is Neuro-sama ethical, guys? Is Neuro-sama ethical? Ethical means like good, you know? Is it good? Is Neuro-sama good on a moral level?
AI. It's one of the fancy pants new technological innovations of the computer world, but unlike in the past couple of years where the best you got was $20,000 JPEGs, AI actually provides some
Dude, do you guys remember NFTs? Oh my god, I forgot about NFTs.
sort of meaningful value. It's a lot of things depending on who you ask. It could be a heaven-sent way of translating anime, it could be your favorite little programming buddy, or depending on how far gone you are, your therapist. But one thing AI will never—
I should get an AI therapist. What do you think? Is it time to get an AI therapist? What do you think? Do you guys think the AI therapist can prescribe me Adderall? Companies are using AIs and new NFTs, but no, NFTs weren't like companies though. NFTs were like small production stuff.
be is moral. It's not inherently immoral either because it's just a tool, and like any tool left in the wrong hands will eventually be used for a negative purpose. The concept of something like image generation on paper should be fine, because all it's doing is cobbling together an image based off of whatever labubu you showed it last. But of course, since there's no real regulation in the industry, it may as well be open season for any image to be trained off of.
I mean, how would you legislate against this?
Sometimes against the consent of the people creating the very thing feeding the
How would
beast.
you even stop
Because
that?
of this, one of the main problems with anything dealing with AI is the inherent lack of consent in any meaningful way. Those that do find themselves participating oftentimes do because they can't say no. But unlike just a couple of years ago where the most you would get out of ChatGPT is just a very poorly rendered version of Will Smith eating spaghetti, nowadays you can recreate entire art styles from established artists. You do have your Twitter sleuths here and there that can whip out AI in just under a few seconds, because one thing it still struggles with after all this time—
Is it right? Is this real? Is this real or anime? Is this real or anime or is it AI? Oh, it's HoloLive. Oh, never mind. But is it bad that I don't know any of these? I know these two. They're like twins or something. I've seen this one as well. It's not anime. It's HoloLive. They're all VTubers. They're all Beboobers. Who is this? Which VTuber is this? Find me here. Who's this?
all this time is remaining consistent. But keep in mind, these kinds of people are trained for years on end to spot this sort of stuff out simply because they were in the industry for so long. Your average internet user likely won't even know what they're seeing is AI until after they're told. And if it's good enough for them, you may as well be preaching to the choir.
Guys, I got doomer pilled like crazy over Christmas. My dad, every time he would cook like Christmas meals or like do like Christmas preparations, he would turn on AI music. He would turn on some like vibe AI music in the background, like a 4-hour-long video every single day. Like he would fucking go crazy. It'd be like someone like smoking a cigar with both hands while drinking Jack Daniels. I had some like basic AI generated music. It's so bad. It's just really bad music.
Don't even waste your breath. Most people wouldn't care if you used it for like a dumb internet meme, but when it's good enough to the point where it genuinely threatens jobs, it's not all—
Wait, what? Is this AI? Is it this good now? Damn! Jump to Grubhub ourselves.
It's not all that hard to understand why artists avoid it like it's a plague. And it really doesn't help the case for AI being nothing but a bandit's
Mr.
nest when
Oldman,
you've got
no,
top
okay.
CEOs saying things like, if training a model isn't fair use, then the AI race is over, while monetizing its use. Or other ones saying things like lazing your art is considered abuse. Being that VTubers exist in a space that depends on an artist for them to be able to exist at all, you'll find most VTubers echo some if not all of the same opinions. But what if I told you there existed a VTuber that made AI their entire brand?
That's me. That's me, by the way. Can you imagine?
What if I told you that this one VTuber was also branded the only ethical use of it? What if I told you— okay, let me stop you.
No, but hold on. I think there's other ethical uses of AI. Like using AI to like, in like medicine, using AI to spot cancer early. I think that's pretty ethical.
Know who the frick Neuro is?
Everyone hates you, Beetle. Why would I waste my time being nice to you when nobody ever is?
That's how I feel. Wait, that's how you feel like at me. No, that's what. No, wait.
Amassing a total of over 1.6 million followers across Twitch and YouTube, affectionately referred to as the Swarm.
I'm surprised. I'm actually super surprised she doesn't have over 1 million or over 2 million or 5 million. I know it's like only 700k. It's not that much anymore for like she's one of the biggest VTubers, right? But like if you look at like Jinxie, he has like 10 million subs or something.
It's a safe bet to say that anyone that knows this corner of the internet even exists has heard of Nero. But like any creator you can find on the planet, Beetle will attract some haters for what he has created. But it's a bit different with Nero because of the odd space it exists in. Most hate for your average creator amounts to nothing more than like an I don't like this guy because his shoes are red. But when it comes to Nero, most of the hate she would garner would be because of perceived hypocrisy. How do you have someone branding themselves as AI in a space that's like 95-5 split against it? Everybody has that one or two things that they are hypocritical in, but why is Neuro that one exception for VTubers? Because AI can and will be used in an unethical way if it can be, there isn't any way but one.
She's still doing. Yeah, hers have over 300,000 subs now. Where's my subs, guys? Where's my 300,000 subs? Wink, wink.
In order to say an AI is ethical or not. And that's generally going to be through its training data. No one has a problem with how AI functions so long as everybody was in agreement with how the data was used. So the first immediate consideration is, where does Neuros come from? Straight out of Vettel himself, she's fine-tuned using Twitch chat transcripts. Now there are some and far in between that take this to mean that she's trained using only Twitch chat. Now I will admit, reading over the internet do be hard. I struggle doing it myself. Fine-tuned means there's some other amalgamation of data. And for a lot of people online, that's already starting to raise some eyebrows. If you've been on Twitch for more than 5 seconds, you know how Twitch chat tends to be. Because it's a very informal place, we'll call it. You will never be able to come up with an AI that can formulate anywhere near a coherent sentence, because it can be summed up as nothing more than GG good play, emote span, and a couple of slurs here and there. So the only real way she can construct anywhere near a comprehensible sentence would be by using an open source baseline model. So the question is, what is Neuro's baseline model? And that is a very good question. Anyway, the best LLMs we know of are absolutely using copyrighted works. To pretend otherwise would be wishful thinking. For that reason alone, the idea that Neuro could ever be completely clean is a pipe dream. But be that as it may, why are there so many online that can so outwardly show support for something that they would consider to be a taboo in almost any other case? When it comes to text-based copyrighted works, it's considered to be a lot more acceptable to use them in cases like this. How many times have you ever thought of the guy that might have been stolen from every time you use the Google Gemini AI generated responses? Those responses themselves might be like 99% Reddit, but even Reddit itself is not completely clean. If you look hard enough, you will find somebody using a copyrighted work in one way or another. Maybe someone just like posts some art that they found on like a random forum and it gets a couple of likes, but despite copyright, most of us never even gave that sort of an interaction a second thought, if we ever even bothered to give it a first. So while she might not be completely clean herself, it would be just as disingenuous to have the expectation that she should be spotless. It's impossible. The second reason has to do with how the end product is intended to serve its audience. Even if the end goal was achieved through unethical means, if no one is entirely replaced, or if the end product is perceivably improving what was already there, nobody really cares that AI was used. But that in itself really varies based on its application. In this case,
if the end product is quote-unquote better, does the methods not matter anymore? So, do we agree with that? I don't know if I agree with that.
Herself doesn't stream on her own without someone watching her, because the last time she was left alone for more than 5 minutes, she became Grok for a day. And while it doesn't leave a direct net positive on the streaming industry as a whole, it doesn't exactly take away from it either. You could Thanos snap Neuro away right now and the entire streaming landscape stays exactly the same as it was about 5 years ago. Anyone that knows who she is knows she's AI. Anyone not okay with it already isn't watching. So do they have the grounds to dictate whether or not someone who doesn't care should be able to watch it? But before you answer that, there is another important factor that you need to consider. Perception. You'll find no shortage of opinions online coasting along the lines of, you only like the AI because it's an anime girl. Now before
Hey, I mean, he's kind of right though. I mean, if it was like Cleverbot, we just wrote something, I'd said something back. Like, I was like, for me, like 78% of Neuro-sama is like, she's cute and funny, right? And like animations. No, you know what? It's like 50% cute anime girl, 45% Vedal and all the stuff he does around it. Like all the extra he does, all the events, all the different stuff. And the last 5% is like the AI, right? Like, I'm gonna flame Neuro-sama, but like most of what she says is like nonsensical, right? Only a very small part of what she says is actually like emotional and stuff. It's mostly like just random gibberish. But because of how Vedal like wrangles her, and because of the community, and because of the anime, that's what makes it good, right? It might not be the model itself. It's like 20% anime girl that's cute and has cute animations and stuff. 50% Vedal and what he does, like reaching out, partners, wrangling, and 25% the community itself, like all the chatting and the community itself. And only 5% is the AI part, I think.
Before you go writing this off as just random people on the internet being jealous of Neuro's success, you do at least need to consider the possibility. If you put 100 people who liked anime but then hated AI into a room but then showed them Neuro, a lot more of them would cut it way more slack on account that it's presented in a way that they're already comfortable with. I personally don't believe that to be the case for Neuro, but dismissing that entirely would be just as ridiculous. Because it's a really sad rule over the internet that if you do something unethical or something that would be perceived to be bad by any other person, if the internet likes you enough, you will be absolved. Like, this is a very observable trait. The reason behind Neuro getting that exception boils down to how creative Vettel got with using Neuro. It's not like Neuro is just like any other AI you would find on the internet, where it's obvious that they're one.
Yeah, exactly. The way Vettel uses Neuro, the way Neuro collaborates, plays games, talks to the community, that's like the value, I think, not the AI.
Unintended goal is just to make as much money as possible scamming others. Neuro does it in a way that actually makes it feel like the end consumer is gaining something out of it. Karaoke, controlling built project cars, work with me streams. The ongoing perception being this is meant to add new content, not just rip whatever you can and just call it a day. Best exemplified when Kwebbelkop tried to do something similar. Following in a similar.
Yeah, because other people, the thing I said this earlier yesterday, there are other people trying to do the same thing, but they don't have the other. They only have the 5%, right? They don't have Vettel, they don't have the community, they don't have the whole package. You only have the 5%, which is the AI, which is not enough.
Similar suit, Kwebbelkop, a very well-known gaming creator, had made his own AI in an attempt to follow the similar trend of using AI to create content. To say his didn't go nearly as well would be charitable at best. At the start, he never outwardly.
His AI thing is so bad though. Oh my god, this is so bad. This is horrible. Yeah, because it's just the 5%, right? It's just the 5% nonsensical AI that hasn't been like fine-tuned. It hasn't been wrangled by someone as talented as Vettel.
He had been using AI to generate this content. He kept that a secret until the rumors behind what he was doing had become too big to ignore, and eventually had to make a video finally addressing what the internet at large was starting to become privy to. That he was creating AI-generated slop. But his biggest mistake was how he went about creating this AI-generated slop. See, Kwebbel's AI was mostly doing two things: reactions and Let's Plays. Because of the nature of Let's Plays, part of the appeal is watching the other person on screen play the game with their genuine reactions involved. With him not being present, it almost robs the viewers of that experience, knowing that what they were watching wasn't actually the person that they had parasocialized to for all of those years. As for his second type of content, that's where it started to get really dicey. Because then we start getting into the issues of the ethical uses of AI. Reactions themselves are already in sort of a mixed bag. I've made my own video.
Hey, I'm getting called out live, by the way. What? Let me react a little bit, man. Shit.
On the subject, you'll find thousands of others talking about the same things, with some even saying that it's tantamount to just straight theft, being that nothing goes back to the original creator. But if there's one thing that everyone on the internet can agree on, it's that reactions are literally the easiest type of content. When Kwebbel uses his AI and then starts reacting to popular TikToks over the internet, it starts to feel almost hollow, like something's missing. And it's because of the same reason that somebody would watch something like a Let's Play. I'm here for the genuine reaction of this internet celebrity.
Who's
and
this?
They didn't even bother to show up. What really tied it all together was the fact that since Kwebbel never disclosed that what he was doing was mostly, if not all AI, many people felt lied to because there's only a single reason to keep something like that hidden. And that's only if you fully intended on misleading them in the first place. But in either case, it wasn't taken well by his community because of the perception behind what he was doing. He made it explicitly so that he wouldn't have to be there himself and then just passively generate income, acting as a replacement for the entire reason you would become an internet personality. But why would somebody bother watching something that you didn't even bother to produce? But then you look at what Neuro is doing and it starts to make a lot more sense as to why it's way more acceptable. She never sought to replace the concept of a streamer or a YouTuber, but instead she's the result of literal years of work getting a computer to learn how to play a video game and then giving it vocals. Like, over the years you could see Neuro growing with each iteration, so in a way the audience she fosters learned alongside her, ironically making her seem way more human than Kwebbel AI ever could have been. When you start looking at it for that sort of an angle, you start realizing why so many people begin to give Neuro so much more credit. The main issue with AI when it invades art— I
gotta go look. Where's Kwebbelkop now? Where's Kwebbelkop now, man? Is he still making it? He is! Wait, no. He's here.
In the last video, Robust reunited!
I think I tried to save it now. I think I tried to save it. Like, what was the AI? What was the AI? Like, these aren't AI. Here's the AI!
Today we're checking out a $1 job all the way up to a $10 million Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the AI. This is the
Don't
AI.
worry, I'm definitely
These look
not
so
gonna mess
ridiculous.
this up.
Hey
When
there,
I get
let me
fired,
grab my
I
coffee
will
real
get
quick.
a job upgrade. Yeah. Today we're checking out a $1 job all the way up to a $10 million job in GTA
I'm still getting
5.
like 10K.
Every time I manage to get fired, I
What
get a
the
better job. It's my goal to get.
I'm still making sounds. Yeah, he had to stop, right? He had to stop. He was like, he had to stop. Guys, hi, VTubers. What do you think about the Neuro-sama? Is Neuro-sama ethical? I think Neuro-sama is ethical. I think it's good. Anyways, new debut, 17th January. Be there or be square. I love you guys.